Dante's Divine Comedy, Inferno, Canto the 32nd.
I remember the giants. I don't remember their names. One of them could not talk English, so he blows a horn when he's mad. And then I remember the other giant who was all chained up. And I actually do not remember why.
I think he was just a naughty boy.
Oh, just a naughty boy.
And they're just now entering the 9th circle. Keep in mind that at this point, he's in the bottom of hell. He's at the very bottom of the world. This is the 9th circle of hell. This is the circle for treachery against people who have reason to trust you. Treachery against people who are close to you in some way. They're walking down a slight slope. And as he's walking, he's kind of looking around his surroundings. And he hears a voice call out, "Whoa, watch where you're going there, bud. Don't step on any heads." And he looks down and he realizes the ground he's walking on is ice. Ice that is so thick and frozen. He says it's like a giant sheet of glass. And inside of this ice are people. They're frozen in such a way that just their heads are popping up above the ice.
Oh, weird.
But he can see their bodies below too, because again, it's like glass. All the people he sees, their heads are bowed forward. Their teeth are chattering because it's very, very cold down here. And they're constantly crying. Tears are pouring out of their eyes down onto the ground. He sees two people in particular who are very close to each other. Their heads are touching each other. In fact, their hair is like tied together. And so he asks who they are. He's like, who are you guys? They look up to look at him because they hear someone talking, right? When they look up, their tears are still pouring from their eyes, and it immediately freezes into ice and blinds them.
Oh, wow.
This makes them very angry, so they start screaming in pain and start, like animals, bashing their heads together, like against each other. A nearby head starts talking to them and says, those two there, they were brothers. They inherited a castle, so it belonged to both of them, and they ended up killing each other over issues of both inheritance and also politics. This is a good time for me to start talking about Dante's politics. Where Dante is from is kind of split into two major political parties called the Guelphs and the Ghibellines. So Dante is a Guelph, but within the Guelphs, there's another division. The Guelphs are divided into black Guelphs and white Guelphs. So these brothers, one was a Guelph and one was a Ghibelline, so they were also politically opposed as well. The head lists off a few other people who are down here in the same area of this circle. He mentions Modred, King Arthur's nephew, who tried to murder him. Another guy somewhere down here is someone who murdered their cousin. In this case, he murdered his cousin because they were both Guelphs, but one of them was a black Guelph and one of them was a white Guelph. And another person down here who killed his nephew in order to get his inheritance. And so this is the first of 4 subcircles within the 9th circle. It's called Cana, and it is for those who betray the trust of family members. He continues walking on for a while, and he's not really watching where he's going, so he accidentally kicks someone in the face. And this dude, boy, does he get pissed by this, because he starts yelling off at Dante and screaming and like cursing and swearing and just on and on. Dante says, he said, "Yo, dude, what's going on? What's your problem? By the way, who are you?" And the head responds, "And who are you, who go through the dead larder of Anantora, kicking the cheeks of others so hard that were you alive, you could not kick harder?" And Dante says, "Well, okay, I am alive. The reason, though, you should tell me who you are is I'm going to go back up to the real world. I'm going to write a book. I'll tell people about you." And the guy's like, "You know, I'd rather not, actually. I don't want people to hear about me." This is Dante's response. "I grabbed the hair of his dog's ruff, and I said, either you tell me truly who you are, or you won't have a hair left on your head."
Oh, gosh. It sounds like the Inferno's getting to Dante a little bit.
This guy, though, he says, he shoots right back like, "I don't care. Do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you my name." And so he does. Dante starts pulling his hair out by like the handle. Obviously this hurts. So the head, he starts screaming in pain. A voice calls out off to the side and says, "Boca, what the hell's wrong?" And then he says like, "Bro, it's painful enough to be here. Do I have to listen to you screaming?"
Yeah, that's a good point. You're just making the torment worse.
Dante knows who this is immediately. This is Bocca degli Abbati. He was a Florentine who cut off another Florentine standard bearer's hand. The standard bearer wasn't able to hold the standard. The army got demoralized. They lost the battle. This is Antenora, and this is the 2nd subcircle within the 9th circle. This is for treachery against country. Dante says like, "Oh, I know who you are. I am going to tell everyone about you and make sure they all know where you are in hell." And the guy's just like, he's just, "Oh, just tell them whatever you want. Just please leave me alone." Like, he just wants Dante to leave. But then he also says, you know what though? As long as you're telling people who's down here in hell, tell them about that guy who just told you who my name was. He says that guy over there is Buoso da Duera. Buoso apparently was the commander of an army, but he was bribed to let a French army pass him without fighting back. So again, betrayal of country. And then he goes on to name on a couple other people who are down here as well. One, interestingly though, was a person who was a former Ghibelline who left his party to support the Guelphs, which I think is interesting for two reasons. Because first of all, Dante was a Guelph, so he's putting this guy in hell for betraying his own party, even though it was the opposing party, to join a different party. But it also shows that Dante views betraying your political party to be the same thing here as betraying your nation. Because this is a circle for betraying your nation. Finally, as he's moving forward, he comes upon two people who are so close in the ice that they're actually in the same hole. One of the guys has his neck like over to the side, and the second guy is just furiously chomping away at his neck.
Goodness sakes.
Dante asks, whoa, dude, who are you? And who's that guy? And why do you hate him so much? That's the end of the canto.
Oh,